Hello, everyone. Hi. So, I am going to be given a brief introduction to the meet and treat process and why it's so important for all groomers to try and implement that service into their professional grooming practices. So, I'm just going to pop up the slideshow, which I have designed for this purpose. And I'm also going to change. I'm going to change the brand because I've just realised it's on I Can Be a Dog Detective, which isn't right. So there we go. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, dokie, so that's us now. If you have any questions throughout this webinar, then please feel free to leave a comment on the thread and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Any questions are welcome. There will be some of you guys who are currently providing meet and treat services within your business, which is fab. So for those of you that have never heard of this service, then certainly this will be an eye-opener, I'm sure, for you. So let's just proceed with the webinar now. So first of all, many of you will probably be asking the question, why do we have to bother with a meet and treat? Why can't we not go straight into the grooming process? And we are trained, we're typically trained to book in a dog from the moment we receive the phone call. So many of us use booking systems where new clients can come on, check our diaries and have their dog then booked in for a full groom straight away. And while that is probably a really efficient way of making money really quickly, what we have began to understand is that many dogs require different approaches in the grooming environment. And there are many expectations that are left unfulfilled when we don't first prepare for a grooming session ahead. And the only way we're going to prepare for a grooming session ahead is to get to know, first of all, the clients themselves, so as in the dog carers or cat carers, and then also the dog as well and their individual needs and requirements as well. And the meet and treat service is a way of doing that. But it's more than that, all right? So a meet and treat is more than a phone call consultation. It is the second step after the phone call conversation, because most of the time when we get an inquiry through, it is either through email or through the phone, and we can then go through a quick registration process where we're taking in details, numbers, names of the dog breed, etc. That's usually the first step before the grooming appointment. But now I want to try and get you into the habit of thinking of the phone call just a stepping stone onto the icebreaker, which will be the meet and treat. So the benefits of a meet and treat are the following bullet points here. So it is an opportunity for you to show your value, and I think that's one of the most common downfalls of the professional grooming industry, is that we are currently wildly undervalued because people don't understand what it is we actually do. They think that our job is basically to spend all our days with cute fluffy dogs, making them look adorable, when really the reality is there's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes. So the meet and treat is an opportunity for you to really sell your service based on the value that you bring to the table. The second thing is it gives the client themselves an opportunity to ask you any questions or express any concerns that they might have. There probably are more clients today asking questions than there were probably 10 years ago. And I think it is with the recent kind of news stories that we're seeing circulating regarding the welfare of animals within professional grooming industries, and how our animals are being treated. And I think there's a lot more emphasis on holistic care, which is a good thing for us who are all obviously in this group, because we want to start embracing a more holistic approach. But what it's doing is it's encouraging our clients to take a more intimate interest into how we are going about our daily duties. So this is an opportunity for them to ask and express any concerns that they have. It's also an opportunity for you to observe the dog himself, all right? This is a vital part of information that we can gather in order to further prepare for the grooming sessions ahead, all right? We're looking out for signs of illness, signs of pain, signs of anxiety, signs of aggression, signs of food aggression. There is an array of things that we can pick up on within that first initial meet and treat, when the dog is in the environment for the first time, without having to put any pressure on ourselves to interact and engage, and any pressure on the dog for having to succumb to any grooming or handling requirements as well. So this is an icebreaker as much for the dog as it is for the client and yourself as well. You're getting to know the dog, getting to know how he is, how resilient he is in new environments, and with new people. And you can start to implement different techniques and things throughout the meet and treat as well, if you desire. And we go into that more in detail via the academy. So I'm just going to try and keep this as short as possible, because I really just want to tap into the benefits of a meet and treat and how to sell it to your clients. It's also an opportunity to upsell your premium packages. So whether or not you offer puppy university packages, which I do, strongly recommend that everyone does if they don't already. These are block sessions where you can charge more, but you advertise it in a way that makes clients think that they're saving money. So a block of 8 for the price of 7, etc. These can be really good money makers for you. There's also other things you can sell during the meet and treat if you are savvy enough, and if you do it in a non-hard selling way. It's also an opportunity for you to ask questions about the background, lifestyle, and medical history of the dog himself as well, and it gives you a clear idea of expectations and whether or not you can accommodate to those, but also gives you an idea if you have the facilities available to provide a holistic approach to the care of the dog. For example, if you haven't got the facilities to cater to a dog with severe mobility issues, then you might want to refer on to another groomer who can. And we talk about this in the course as well, as it's so important to start looking at surrounding groomers in your area as allies rather than competitors, because we all have something different to offer. And that can come in handy when it comes to dealing with particular clients. And we should be in that habit of referring and recommending one another clients, because we never know when we might need to utilise that service. And again, it shows your team spirit, but it also shows that you are quite willing to pass on custom to other small businesses. So it's really showing that you support and cheerlead for your other grooming peers as well. So yeah, I would be encouraging all groomers to try and get to know their surrounding groomers and build up rapport with them. It's also an opportunity to make more money through affiliations. And again, I could tap into that, it could take me forever, but if you have other pet industries and pet businesses in your area that also approach things holistically and ethically, then you can then look at establishing an affiliate scheme, where you can then cross sell different services, and you can take a commission for that. It does take a wee bit of planning, but it's well and truly worth its weight in gold if you can. So I would start looking at sourcing different sectors as well, pet sectors, whether it's vets, dog walkers, pet first aid providers, whatever it is. Start getting to know your surrounding businesses and start building up rapport with them as well. I can only apologise for the barking in the background. This is Nala, who is currently outside in the pen, and she won't come in because it's been snowing, and they are Himalayan mountain dogs and absolutely love the snow, but they like to bark, so my apologies. I'm sure you all understand my woe anyway. So how do we arrange a meet and treat? So I've tapped into it already. We, generally speaking, tend to get inquiries through email or through a phone call, right? Ideally, we want to encourage people to call us, because then we can quickly explain to them why we insist on having a meet and treat before any grooming appointment is arranged, right? You have to emphasize that as a chargeable service. when I say chargeable, it requires a deposit to secure the space. A deposit then suggests that it is refundable, which it is, in a matter of speaking. So what you would say to try and convince them is that yes, it is a deposit that is required in order to secure the booking. However, that will be deducted from the price of your first groom. It will only be retained should you decide that my grooming facilities are not for you and your dog, and it's only to cover the cost of admin and the time it took to carry out and conduct the meet and treat. When it comes to how long a meet and treat should last, it varies from groomer to groomer. It will also depend on your kind of operating logistics as well, whether you're multi-groomer, whether you are mobile dog groomer, whether you're home visitation, or your one-to-one. One-to-one, you tend to have a wee bit more flexibility, as is the same as home visits. Whereas your multi-grooming establishments tend to have a lot less time available. So you would probably be looking at a 15-minute slot, whereas you could probably get away with 20 to 30 minutes for other types of grooming establishments. Obviously, price your meet and treat according to your demographics and according to what you can afford to charge for that time, all right? Remember, there is value in it. We're going to talk about what the value is for the customer themselves in a wee bit. But right now, try and work out how much you want to actually charge for it. So I currently set my meet and treats between 15 and 20 minutes. I think that's ample time, especially with puppies. Puppies have a shorter attention span, so do elderly, more geriatric type dogs as well. So you'd want to keep that quite short. 15 minutes is okay. But if you have got a dog that's rather resilient, then you could extend that into 20 to 30 minutes, and then you've got more time to actually tap into different methods and techniques which can further help you build up a kind of avatar for that dog. So £10 to £20 is completely acceptable for the service, all right? So how are you going to convince them to take that time out of their busy schedule and actually come and attend a non-grooming meet and treat? I want you to kind of come away from the idea and a temptation that you have to sell what it is you do so differently. So don't go into too much detail about, you know, why you're a holistic groomer, what that means, the process involved, blah, 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 blah. Because the chances are when a client phones to book an appointment, they are on a tight schedule, right? They have other commitments, they want to get on with their day, they want to really just know when their dog can get groomed. So they have a purpose when they phone you, and they want that purpose fulfilled as quickly as possible. So you don't want to spend too much time trying to convince them of all the technical reasons why or scientific reasons why you do things differently, right? That is left for the meet and treat. Instead, what you want to do is explain that the appointment is important because it helps to, first of all, ice break the dog into a new environment. And it also is an opportunity for you to register their personal details within the salon. There's also an opportunity to tour the salon as well, because a lot of pet parents are really nosy when it comes to where their dog is housed, where their dog is groomed, etc., etc. So it's an opportunity for them to get to see behind the scenes. And it just makes everything a lot more relaxed as well. You further sell the service by offering a freebie, right? So everybody likes to feel like they've got something for free to take home. That's exactly what you're going to do. All right. So that is why I always have a welcome pack for every new client. And a welcome pack can be anything. All right. As much as you want to give and as little as you want to give, but it is something that they can physically take home. All right. Everybody loves a freebie. Clients will like to feel like they've actually taken something away for their time and for their £10, £20 investment, right? You can use the opportunity of providing a welcome pack to further educate your client and also to earn extra cash. So I have tapped into affiliate schemes. So this is something that can be implemented within the welcome pack. Now, I'm not going to delve into the contents of a welcome pack because that is something that, again, I can cover more in depth within the course and also even the membership. But for now, we're focusing on just getting to seal the deal, right? So in order to prepare for a meet and treat, there's things that you might need to think about prior to having the dog come in for his first appointment. So there are some questions that you should ask the client initially, whether that's on the phone or an email. So you have to think about the breed, gender, age, whether the dog's in season, any disabilities, when he was last groomed, his last vet trip, any allergies, and is he generally healthy. I believe that that's all self-explanatory as to why you need to have that to begin with, even before they step in for a meet and treat. But if you do need further clarification as to why that information is so important, then please just pop it in the thread and I'll explain further. But yeah, they are very much significant when it comes to preparation for the first impressions during a meet and treat. And there's a quote that failing to prepare is preparing to fail, and it is so true in this instance. What we do with that information will dictate how we prepare the space for the meet and treat, where the meet and treat will be conducted if we are in a multi-grooming establishment, for example, and how we then approach things, all right? But again, it's covered in the course, but it's also covered, and I know that many of you have already invested in The Magic of Holistic Grooming, which is the book that I had published March 2021, and I do go into detail as to why it is important to prepare our space to suit the individual needs of a dog. So if you haven't already got a copy of that, you can pick it up on Amazon for £9.99. I was going to say £99, that's insane. So you can pick it up for £9.99 on Amazon if you are interested in getting to know more about preparing the space. But quickly, it can include the likes of ACE-free work, self-selection, Reiki, and other holistic services. And if you are curious about those services, just pop it in the search bar within this group and it will come up with different live Q&As that I've done with pet professional experts. So there's a self-selection Q&A with Caroline Wilkinson, so you can look that up on the space bar, search bar in the group for more information on that. If you look up Alison McKinnon on Reiki, there's also a Q&A on that. And there's other holistic services as well, like crystal healing and things like that. So there's so much resources within this group already that you should be utilising. If you haven't already, then do. But you can further enhance your knowledge base with this book here, or alternatively, looking at the membership or the course further down the line. So in order for you to sell yourself within that meet and treat, you need to understand what value is, all right? And value basically represents your worth based on a few things, all right? You have to think about the facilities that you provide that others maybe don't, that will suit the needs of the animal in front of you, right? So the facilities that you have, as in your surroundings, your location, your equipment, your approach, your knowledge, and how you can express it, why it's relevant, your CPD and how you continually invest in getting to understand the anatomy and the psychology of an animal, even the dermatology of an animal. What is it that makes you the expert in providing the best possible service for their pet? And ultimately, you want this pet carer to go home with a lot of information, but not too much information, but enough information that will give them the peace of mind that they're making the right choice and investing in you as their groomer. That's how you seal the deal and end up getting yourself, lifetime clients who value you. All right. And most importantly, they go home with realistic expectations. They do not just think that our job is all woo woo and fluff. They genuinely believe in the value that we're providing and they go away with realistic expectations. It is your opportunity to convince the pet carer that you are the best groomer for the job. But it's also important that you're honest if you believe that you aren't, all right? There are times that I have had inquiries through where a customer is looking for a breed standard, show standard groom on their, I don't know, Afghan hound, for example, and right, that to me is alien. All right, so I'm not going to take that client on and give them that false sense of security that I'm going to be the best groomer for them, because that's not the case at all. If this dog is showing confidence and resilience in the grooming environment, then and is, fully capable of, having a really professional show standard groom, then I don't need to be involved. My specialities are in dealing with dogs who have some form of past trauma or who need a little bit of work on their confidence. That's my niche, that's my speciality, that's my comfort zone, and that's where I would sell my value and my services. So you have to work out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are and be realistic in your own expectations, and certainly aspire to provide these other services if you see that happening down the line, and invest in, I don't know, seminars and workshops that will help you utilize the skills required to then take on those clients at a future later date. But do not take on anything that you don't feel 100% confident with, because that's just going to end up resulting in unfulfilled expectations, which is the worst thing ever for business. So if you haven't guessed it already, meet and treats actually benefit everyone involved. They benefit the pet carer, yourself, the dog, but also other people that you're affiliated with as well. Why? Because you're encouraging synchronized care. And when I say synchronized care, you're encouraging dog parents to think from your perspective and to start putting themselves in their dog's perspective as well. So they start to understand why you do things differently. You're also setting realistic expectations, which means less likelihood to let someone down. You're educating the guardian on safety within the grooming environment, but also how to instill a lot more of a holistic approach at home through homework and tasks, for example. You're having the opportunity to observe behaviour and the resilience of a dog in new environments. You're getting to get to know him a little bit better so that you can keep yourself safer and him. You're understanding what that dog needs as a result of that and how you're best to approach it. You're preparing yourself, therefore, for all the sessions ahead because you're more aware of what is required of you. You're upselling other products and or services as well, so that's an opportunity for you to make additional cash. You're getting to know the customer and building up rapport, so you're getting to know them in a more intimate way as well, while remaining professional, but having that rapport there is going to help communication down the line as well. You're asking questions that you need to know in order to fulfill the needs of the animal in front of you, and it's also for you to understand what is expected of you and whether or not you can accommodate to that as well. All right, lots of benefits of the meet and treat. So if you want to learn more, if you want to be an integrated part of the Holistic Grooming Academy network, I welcome anyone and everyone who's interested in utilising our approach and having something of value to show for it. So our courses are CPD UK accredited, which is an internationally recognised CPD service. It's also accredited through the world-renowned Complementary Medical Association as well. We've worked really hard to set the standards high, so there are prerequisites for joining our course particularly. We understand that not everyone's the right fit for it. We are enrolling our next intake for 2022 in the next couple of months, couple of weeks. So there's very limited time to actually get an application in if you want to join us this year. This year is the only year we are introducing payment plans to make it more affordable to get your accreditation through the HGA and holistic grooming specifically. We have one payment plan, which is £99 for 12 months. And the other one is 120 Great British pounds for 10 months. They are like kind of a most affordable payment plan options for the accreditation via the Holistic Grooming Diploma. The course itself is valued at £999, and you can pay it up front if you want. All students that enrol get a welcome pack sent to them with their course workbook. It is all very pretty. For example, the workbook looks like this, and it prompts you throughout the duration of your studies. So it's a lovely welcome pack to celebrate you joining the HGA. But for people that are looking for something more affordable and they aren't too interested in getting a certification, so to speak, can look at our monthly membership service, which is £15 per calendar month. Really affordable service, similar to this community here, only the difference is you're getting access to really good webinars with leading pet professionals. We have Mark Beckhoff coming up later in the year. We've got Dr. Sophie Bell coming on next month. We've got Laura Donaldson talking about whiskers and vibrancy. We have so many different speakers coming on board to talk to our students about different aspects of dog care from a holistic point of view. We also are taking on holistic therapies as well, and holistic therapist experts. You also get, through the membership, you also get a business listing on the only global holistic grooming directory, which, by the way, more and more dog clients are emailing the academy to ask, who in my area is a holistic groomer. Now, while anyone and everyone can be a holistic groomer, whether or not they're affiliated with the HGA or not, the selling point of being on our database and being certified through the HGA is the credence that it comes with. So we're working really hard to build up credence within our academy. We are affiliating with numerous really ethical, well-respected organisations in the pet industry as well. We want to ideally, in the next couple of years, be recognised as a qualification in our own right. That's something we're currently working towards as we speak. So being a part of our umbrella just gives customers that added peace of mind that you are part of an organisation that is committed to updating their education and providing its students with CPD points to prove it. So you get your directory listing, which is good. You get access to infographics. I know a lot of you enjoyed the infographics on the environmental stressors of the grooming environment that I posted. Many of you have asked for downloadable files. I hope you can understand that the downloadable files for any infographics that we design are accessible via the membership only, because obviously members pay to get more value for their money, and so we have to respect that. We can't give too much away for free. So they're all accessible via the dashboard through the membership and also through the course. So if you want to get access to any of our infographics, any posters or leaflets that we have explaining the holistic grooming protocol, then that's all part of the membership, along with a private community where we constantly, cheerlead for one another and offer support and guidance. There are monthly check-ins with the HGA team where we can come on and ask, how you're getting on, talk about anything that's troubling you, answer any questions that you have. You also get discounts on all of our courses at a later date, also first refusal of course spaces, along with discounts to events and retreats, which will be introduced in 2023, most likely after I've had this baby. I think it's got a list here, and I'm trying to wing it with just saying it all. Credibility, discounts, access to private community, monthly check-ins, downloadable infographics, which are printable quality, so high resolution. You can use the infographics via this free group space, as long as you credit the Holistic Grooming Academy when you do, but obviously they are low resolution, so you couldn't print them and put them into your salons or hand them out in leaflets, for example. That high resolution downloadable and printable versions are only accessible through the paid membership or courses. So yeah, that is the benefits of the courses and the membership that we have provided. We have another 40 intakes joining us as of March. And yeah, it's just a really lovely community. I'm sure that people that are already on board will agree with me in that if they're listening to this webinar. So to finish off this webinar, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I hope that has been of value to you. My name is Stephanie Zikmann. I am the admin of this free holistic grooming group. I really do hope that you find the group useful, that you find it a safe place to ask questions. What I really like about this community is that it's only accessible to professional people interested in a more holistic approach to their practice. That means that if you do have any questions, it's safe to ask them without coming across unprofessional to the general public. That's the selling point of this group. So it's very much reserved for people who are strongly supportive of the holistic approach to grooming, where we're all supportive of one another and willing to help and advise and guide and support one another. So I don't let everybody in. And that's why we've just kind of consistently and steadily grew in numbers over the last year. If there is anything at all that you would like to see provided within this free group, then please let me know, because if I can accommodate to it, then I will. We will be hosting in the new year, probably in the new year, because I've got to slow down with obviously the baby June, July, but we will be trying to host more Q&As. If there's anything at all that you yourself feel confident in talking about, if you're passionate about something, then please let me know, because I'm more than happy to have you on doing a Q&A, for example. If you have a specific talent that you want to share with the rest of us, then please get in touch. But equally, if you have any suggestions at all of people that you would like to see speak within the group, then also let me know. What we tend to do is we host Q&As through the free resource here, and then we ask those speakers to then give us a webinar for our paid members as well, so that there's something more advanced then for them to take away. And we're going to start producing certificates of attendance as well for people who have attended these events through the paid membership and course live, so that that's further kind of validating their commitment to learning. All right, so yeah, I hope you will all start to embrace meat and treats in your practice. Let me know if you do that already, and if you get on really well with it, if you believe that they are an asset to the service you provide. Let me know your thoughts, your worries, whatever, your concerns. Let's get a good conversation going, and we'll take it from there. All the best, and I will see you all very soon.